All right, we've got an '09 Mustang GT 4.6. We are doing a cold air intake today. I'm going to share with you guys my experience on how to swap it out, what goes on during and or after, and the tuning process with the kit that I bought, and everything above that. We have an Airaid brand cold air intake. Very simplistic stuff. A couple things I want to pay attention to, and a couple things I hope maybe you pay attention to. Oiled filter, all of the necessary components needed for it. Yeah, we'll get right into it. Firstly, you can take this off. Very easy. Pop this up. I'm gonna get an 8 for this. You can slide it like this, help it get out of your way, and you get freedom to take your hose off. Easy peasy. Air filter can come out of the way. There's a 10 right here. And other than that, air box should be free. And then next up, got to get this guy, and yeah, that's it. And then 2 off. Simply with this one, it's a little tricky. There's a lever down here. Pull it. You should be able to slide this one off. Very easy. I was having a leak right here. It's part of my problem. I don't know if you can see all this. That's a problem. So I'm gonna clean that up before I put the new one on, and maybe we'll see what's different. So in order to clean this, I'm gonna get one of these scuff pads right here and try to wipe it first. If that doesn't work anything, I will wire brush it, but I don't want to get anything inside of it, so I'm gonna tape it up. I guess I'll tear this in half, maybe, and then we'll just kind of try to scuff away. Clean this up, because I found out that it was leaking here because I took a smoke tester and I stuck it into this port right here, and for a while it only came out of the air box, and it had me a little worried. I didn't know what was going on, but we put some pressure on the air box and then it started pouring out of this location right here. So I figured, I was like, let me look online, see if I can find a tube, an OEM tube, and it was very expensive, so I just figured I'd buy an aftermarket one and finally start upgrading a vehicle for once. So that's looking better, but I think I can keep going just a touch. All right, I'm gonna get some air, which I have a hose right here, and then blow it off. Oh yeah, I got snacks in there. All right. Peel all this away, don't forget that. Okay, those look okay. I hope you can see everything that I'm doing. I can't tell with it on my head. But all right, I will start assembling the tube first. most important thing is probably how the mass airflow fits. You know, in a theoretical standpoint, it should be a bolt right up case scenario, but I've heard of people having to Dremel this out, make it a tad bit wider, so I guess we're gonna hope for the best in terms of that. So this here, this is a Torx 20, had to verify. Slides right out like that. And then I guess we'll see how she fits. Yeah, so there's your arrow to determine flow. So if you think about it sitting in there, about like that, your arrow wants to point towards the engine because it's going to read it only one direction. I don't know if I'm supposed to be touching that or not, but I guess I am. I would assume it's those in there that I don't want to touch. But for me, it is looking like it is tight, but it's going in there. Again, I'm gently pressing on this right now, which it might not actually go in there. It's catching a lip right now. So I will pull that back out. All right, so it's pretty ugly right now, but I have just been taking 80 grit sandpaper and kind of just going back and forth across it. That's kind of all I have right now, but very carefully going across it. This is something crucial. You're going to want to clean this like nobody's business once you're done with it. But I'm going to actually downgrade to a smaller grit and try to get some of this smoother, at least. Like for instance, I'm going to use 180 next, and then jump to like maybe a 220 or 320. All right, so just a tad bit more, and then this will fit. I've actually been going at this for quite a while, but it'll fit, no worries. All right, so with a little effort, she fit. So we're gonna screw her down. I hope it'll take the same screws. Which it does not look like it is, but there are some in the bag for them, so I will get to those. All right, so I am tightening up the mass airflow. They switched them to an Allen head, which is not my favorite, but whatever. I do not know how tight this thing needs to be, but I'm not gonna over tighten it. If I get a code for a mass airflow, then whatever. So yeah, I think we're good there. I think that'll be a-okay. I mean, it ain't going anywhere. Again, make sure you clean this hole after you've Dremeled it or whatever you have to do, if you even have to. So that part of the tube is done. So again, once that's there, mass airflow will plug right back in. Next, I got to figure out how to get this PVC port. All right, after reading the directions, I've assembled that that's junk. This is what goes in there. Another thing you might want to lube up, just like so. And that is your new PCV port, just like that. And it'll snap right in. I was a little confused because this was not fitting in there. This thing here was a little too fat to fit up in there, which makes sense. But yeah, that's done. So as of right now, this tube is completed. I'm gonna set this over here. Next up, I gotta assemble this, and then we'll start hopefully getting it all together, and then we'll get to the most exciting part, tuning, and we'll see where we need to go from there. Most importantly, these need to come off of there because these are important. And they go right over here in the original holes I was doing a lot of reading in forums online, and I was looking at these and how it sits right there. I heard some people have had issues with water buildup, so I might drill a hole maybe back here, but it does look like it sits pretty parallel in there. Which it's not hitting any of my, oop, my bad, I poked you guys there. It's not hitting any of my ABS. It does look like that this bolt right here is supposed to come out of there, which is your ABS bracket. So this just sits down in there. And then this bolt gonna come out. And this one is gonna go back into his hidey hole, which I might want a washer for that, which they have supplied one. I am not going to snug the crap out of them. But yeah, I'm not hitting anything. I think what would be a smart idea would be to pour some water in there and see how it sits. Maybe see where I would possibly need to drill a hole. This looks like our lowest point right here, but I don't know. So we'll pour some water in there and see what we got going on. So in goes the water, and yep, would you look at that? It likes to sit in the very back. Also, it likes to sit in these holes here, which I kind of anticipated that, but I am going to drill a hole. I'm going to drill a hole in the very back and see if that's as far back as I need to go, or if I need to go further up. And that, I probably couldn't have done that any better. Yeah, that's gonna take it all out. Get all the burrs out of there. That's fantastic. All right. Now, I'm not saying do that for yourself, but I'm gonna do it because I like that idea, and I don't want to suck up water because it likes to hold water. Another thing, I don't know what that's gonna do long term for this area, so I'm signing myself up for maybe some future problems. I hope not, but we'll see, I guess. So I can put on the beauty housing. Yeah, it just slides on pretty tight, but it just slides on. All right. And then I have to get these put on. So this one goes on the inside, right here. You have to line up your holes in order for the filter to attach on this side. And this one will go right outside of here once you've got the screws in for this. Which these are it. They're more Allens, which again I don't love. I'm a Torx guy. Where'd that go? Can't have a project without a mishap. Well, I'll find that. All right, next up, this guy. I noticed something when I was messing around with it in my room. I don't necessarily know if these right here are going to be of any negatory effect. They look a little off like it's gonna cause a leak. But when I get it on there, which it actually is quite hard to do, they look sealed. And you'll also have a tightener on there. So I'm gonna roll with it like it is for now. All right, so I got the rubber on there. Getting the clamps on now. Smashed it up on there. And then I'm gonna give her a tighten. I'm gonna do these with this guy, and we'll see how it fits from there. All right, I'm gonna get these tight. One thing I'm gonna try to do before I get those tight actually is I noticed that at least with how I have them tightened, this can slide back this way if possible, which it doesn't look like it a whole lot. Because it's got like just a teensy weensy bit of difference in there, like gap. So, all right, we'll get these tight, lock it in place, and then we'll get the filter on there. When I get the opportunity to, I would like to smoke test it again, so I can truly find out if I actually still have a leak right there. I don't know if I'm gonna, I don't even know if this is gonna fix it, and I hope what I did fixed it. All right, I need the 8 again. And we'll double check our tightness. Which that ain't coming off of there. Okay, pretty much that's it. Plug your mass airflow back in. Figure out how to get this to go back in there. I know that this is an aftermarket tube. This is not an OEM tube, because I don't have this, and I'm really kind of wondering how I'm gonna be able to put that on there. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. So I'm gonna have to do some digging. I wonder if this is what they're talking about. Hooking this to there. I'm not gonna do that. Which I might have to. The way this is fitting. I might have to. That is a little longer. The connection there. That might have to work. Okay, so what they want me to do is actually put this tube onto these breather ends. So I got to take this side off and attempt to get these off, which I think I'm just gonna cut them because these are probably pretty fragile. And so what if I have to buy a new one of these? No matter what this is gonna have to do. I just wonder how that's gonna fit. Air-wise, I guess. So I will cut them off. Where's my blade? Carefully, hopefully I don't cut my fingers off. So I had myself a little worried, and I thought that these were metal inside there, but they're just extremely hard plastic, so these should actually glide right on there now. But I did have to come in and cut these off, kind of like so. Again, trying not to cut my own self. And I hope I didn't just bust that O-ring in there. And if I did, oh well. I will figure it out later. But after you do that, you should be able to tear off the old tube. So boom, I've taken it, put it together, and then put it together. I now have a true PCV. I'm not gonna put clamps on these. I don't really see a need yet. I guess I can keep these with me. If it blows off, I get a code, something. But other than that, that's the intake. It looks pretty in there. I can't wait to tune it up. So that's what's next. In my car, I have the Bama Performance and get on the other side. I'm gonna need my key. So forewarning, they send you the tuner, and then it is highly recommended by Bama that you update the tuner beforehand. And how I did that is I got the tuner, there was a sticker on the screen here. I think I might actually have it right here. You just go to this website, plug this end into your computer, and it provides you with a cord. Then once you're at the website, it has you download this app, which takes you right to like the website, but in this case it's an app for this. And once you've plugged it in, you sense it to your computer, like it automatically does it, and then it'll check for updates, and then it'll update. Mine took 16 minutes, but really it doesn't take that long if you're doing other things while you're letting it update. You know, like you could be building it, for example. By the time it's done, it'll be totally ready for you. But I'm gonna plug this in to my OBD here, and then the top side. So boom, that's what it looks like. So this is the first screen I see. Again, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I have just seen videos where this is all you're gonna do is you're gonna go into program vehicle. It's gonna have some notice information for you. I'm gonna ignore that. So the first thing, turn the vehicle's ignition key to the on position, and or push the start button. So I want to do turn it on. Do not start the engine, and then press continue when you're ready. So in this case, I'm ready. Which I don't have any tunes. All right, I've been to garage, got it reinstalled. Took me no time at all. Mass airflow's in there. Now comes the fun part. We're gonna plug her in. I need my key. Takes me back to this screen. I go into program. Yeah, the name, the legal fees. Yep, we're gonna turn my ignition on. I'm gonna turn that AC off. And I finally have my tunes. I will explain why I didn't have my tunes earlier, but we have them now. I'm gonna run the performance tune because this one's a little too aggressive, and I like 89 octane. At least for where I live, it's pretty good. We're gonna, I guess, select that one. Yeah, I mean, everything looks good, I guess. But one thing I do want to see, yeah, okay, it did change my rev limiter It turned my speed limit off, which is pretty funny. I didn't adjust any of this stuff, which I didn't think it would. Again, my car's bone stock other than the cold air intake now. Wow, that's crazy. So I'm gonna be redlining way at like 65 almost. Idle speed is 74. Okay. Fan, high speed fan. Okay, I understand. We're gonna approve because I've double checked everything. Looks good. This custom tune will disable your SCT preloaded tunes because of modifications to your vehicle that require a tune customized for a specific application. If you have any questions, or see the user guide for more. It's looking good. Yeah, okay, so this is just telling you if you already have a tune loaded, that it's going to take place of that tune. So we're going to confirm. Again, I have my 87 performance tune on there. And I guess we're going to hit continue. Turn your vehicle's ignition key to the off position. Ignition to the on position. Do not start. And now it goes. I'm going to cut this because this is probably going to take a little while. But I'm going to wait and we'll come back. I guess while we wait on this thing to finish up, I can probably fill you in on why I jumped from working in a shop to my garage. So when I bought this kit, of course I read that it was a preloaded system. To me, I tried to read as much as I could, but to me that sounds like the items that I needed to get the job done with what I bought, the kit, the cold air intake, and this, this would be already on there and taken care of for me, so all I have to do is basically plug and play. But that's not the case, which it's okay. Again, I tried to read as much as I could about what I'm getting my hands onto, but all I did between the jump cut from being at the shop to my house is I called American Muscle, and then I asked them what I have going on, like what I need to do, and they sent me a PDF that I had to fill out. It was a very simple PDF of just information about your vehicle. Like, you could answer this if you weren't a car guy. And then I sent that back to them, and then the next day they sent me the 2 tunes that you've seen, the performance and the race, based on what I submitted back to them. Granted, I don't know how well this is going to do, but my check engine light was flashing there for a minute. But yeah, it should be... Oh, I need to turn the vehicle off. And then... But, yeah, I'm here now, so I took it, oh shoot, the tune has been programmed successfully to the vehicle. Turn the key off. So I'm done. That's it. It's that simple. I waited. It cycled again. I waited. It told me to turn it on and off like you just seen me do while I was talking, and then it told me to turn it off, and I'm done. So theoretically my car is tuned right now. I don't know how it's going to react. I haven't started it up yet, but I got to get it out of my garage. So we will see here momentarily, but I'll finish up what I was saying. Basically, after I emailed them, I got the tunes back within the next day. I downloaded them on my computer, plugged this end into the computer, and transfer them over. It's very simple. Once again, when you have the app that they tell you to download for this, it's very simple. The downloads took maybe 30 seconds to this. It was super easy. And then I'm here now. I installed the intake after switching back to stock just so I didn't drive on that. You know, I didn't feel like doing that. which again, it took me 20 seconds to switch that back over. I didn't record that because you see me put it on. And I just tuned it. Here we are. I'm gonna get you guys a start. All right, first start. So she started up like a dream. My door's open. And I'm gonna back her out. I don't want to do this per se because I'd rather let her idle first. But I've got to get it out of the garage and get my mom's car back in there. So I'm gonna do that. And we're gonna let her idle for a while. And then I might take her on a drive. But I'm gonna let her idle sitting here, do some data logging while it's just idling. And then we'll come back to it. All right, so as you can hear, she's idling okay. I don't hear anything negative coming from there. I've heard people say that it changes your exhaust note. I don't really know that it's doing a whole lot of that. And I understand that this is not a huge thing. Like, this isn't a huge power adder, and I am not looking for power. I just don't want it to be tuned incorrectly. I guess I'm OCD. Call me OCD. What I'd like to do is see what more that this device can do. So I'm coming in here. I am going to turn my heater on. So it's definitely mapping right now, like by itself. Oops, sorry, I booped you guys there. I'm gonna let her get down to some more level ground. So I don't even know what I'm looking at here. So I have Ford Gas 07 and prior. Jeez, oh Pete, it's quick. I don't know what I'm looking at here. I guess we'll just continue. See what I got. Oh, okay, so this is... well, it's waiting. But this is live data based on the sensors that are in my vehicle. So I only have two, it looks like. Which it's looking okay. The car isn't rumbling. It's not shaking more than it normally does. So, sorry that it's dark. I don't know how much you're gonna be able to see. But, I mean, she's looking good. Driving good. Here in about maybe 5-10 minutes, I'm gonna take her on a drive after she's gotten some idling done and gotten maybe a little bit better in temperature. All right. We start our drive. Pulling down the road now. We're gonna see how much different it is, how I can drive. I'm just gonna go around the neighborhood, give it some data. Hopefully that helps, I guess. I don't know if it even needs it. Maybe I'm wasting gas and time. But again, I want to share with you my process of what I'm doing on how to install this setup which so far she's great. She's driving beautifully. My check engine light has not came back on, which is good. Don't know if it'll stay like that, but here we are. Very casual driving, very casual driving. Nothing too crazy out of the ordinary. I also don't want to get yanked off the road. But yeah, she's up to temp, so that's good. We're gonna look both ways. Feeling good. Feels like how an engine should feel. Feels good. Granted, not a whole lot of stuff changed. Alrighty. I might try to give her a little beans. God, I really hope you guys can see. I don't know how tall it is. I don't know how it's sitting on my head. I hope this car goes fast. Light beans. Just to get some RPMs in there. Oh, see, there was a cop right there. That is hilarious. Good thing I wasn't doing 80 miles an hour. I hate living in this city. But I don't want to live in the country either. That's too far. That's too far. Yeah, see, I only got to 40 miles an hour. He can't say nothing. It's driving good though. I'm not having any issues. Crossing my fingers. But I like it. I like it a lot. I can hear it. I can definitely hear it open. I hear the throttle bodies a lot more right now. And that's good. I am in love. It's worth it, in my opinion. It just sometimes takes a little finagling. The install was probably the easiest part. Ensuring that you're fully prepared to do the install is the more difficult part, in my opinion. I don't know. I mean, maybe that was just me, but I liked making that video for you guys to show you what I had to go through in order to take care of something like this. Again, everybody's situation is going to be different. You're going to have different modifications. I don't want to speak for American Muscle, but they make a good product, and they make it for a lot of very beginner people. I'm not a pro. I don't claim to be a pro. And I would say this is a very good starter mod. No, I don't think this increased my horsepower drastically, because in fact it didn't. I maybe gained 3 or 4 horsepower. So not numbers that's going to make me take up a 5.0, for example. But it's enough for you to notice, and it's enough for you to be happy with the end goal and result. So if that's all that gets you, that's great. That's all that gets me, that's great. So I would say go for it. If you're looking at getting a cold air intake, you've never done an engine before, and you want to know what to do, try and tune it yourself. Granted, I didn't have to tune it myself. All I had to do was plug and play, They made the tune for me. Granny shifting, I know. But just trying to do some data logging to the best of my ability. But yeah, we're doing pretty good. Running pretty good. I'm not feeling any vibrations. I'm not feeling anything negative coming from my engine. It's gonna be taking some getting used to hear that intake a lot more than I do right now, you know. But other than that, I like it, man. I like it. I spent more money than I wanted to, and that's another big thing, is whether you're willing to or not. I wasn't at first because I was like, oh, I'll just fix the intake tube and call it a day. But me, I'm a baller, you know. I gotta do the unexpected at times, which today was the unexpected. But dude, she's running like a dream. My RPM limit is just rock solid right now. Now my heater's on, so the surge of it yeah, dude, it does pick up a little bit, I will say. A little bit more than I'm used to, and I'm happy about that, I will say. That's a good feeling. I don't know how much faster that makes me, but I like it. I like it. Oh Lord, about stalled it. I can hear it. That's so cool. That's super cool. It's faint, but I can hear it. Yeah, I hear it down there. And when I get back, which I'm about to get back, I'm going to get out, pop the hood, and really listen to it, you know? I've been keeping track of my temp gauge to make sure that it hasn't moved, which it's staying just where it should. And I think we're rock solid here, y'all. I'm gonna get out and smell things too, make sure nothing's burning up in there. Make sure my tubes are still connected, you know. Make sure everything's good up in there. Why do you might think I'm an OCD person, but I don't care. I got my ways. All right, let's take a gander. What do you guys think? Everything's all hooked up and A-okay? That's probably the case. But one can never be too sure. Well, I hope I didn't rant and ramble and go on too long, but that's it. That's the install. Again, a very simple job that I very much so elongated because I wanted to be very in-depth and precise with what I was showing you, my experience. I know I've said this about 1,000 times, but there she goes. But I hope you enjoyed. I hope it helps you. I hope it maybe gives you confidence, because it's not that bad. I've never done anything engine related before, and that was my first thing. It's very simple, very simplistic. Bama Performance is the way to go. They have different versions of these all over their website, American Muscle that is, and there are many different avenues, brands, and things to go down. That specific intake was the one that I've read many reviews on that fits the best. A lot of people go with the Roush, a lot of people go with the JLT. There is nothing wrong with those intakes. It's the fact that I didn't want to have to deal with a whole lot of cutting, drilling, trying to make stuff fit. And granted, the only thing I had to do was fix the mass airflow, which I kind of anticipated on all of them, because apparently nobody can get that hole right. But yeah, that about does her. Thank you guys for listening in and hopefully finding this interesting. And if you have questions, comment whatever you got to do, and maybe I'll see you when I install the next mod.